guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Long time no see. Unfortunately, I've been in hard and weird situation, not for me, for all of Iranians for sure. Hope you understand and support me. Thank you. Okay, let's get started. We wanted to actually create a multiple choice quiz with each other with 3 buttons, and these 3 buttons are going to be our answers, and we have 3 answers for each question, and we're going to choose one of them and go to the next question after that. Okay, how can we do that? It's going to be somehow challenging for beginners, but it's gonna be so easy for intermediate guys, and we're gonna learn about some concepts that we've never talked about them before, so it's gonna be somehow new and somehow easy. And I like this project because of this, because it's somehow challenging for us, and it's gonna be easy for each person that is learning Scratch and concept of programming. So let's start it. I'm gonna actually remove this ugly cat from here, and the only way that I can find some funny fact questions for this game, it was chatgpt, but chatgpt wasn't that much funny for me, and I have to use those questions because I didn't find anything else. And we're gonna use those fun fact questions from chatgpt, and I really recommend to a programmer to make it smarter, because chatgpt doesn't know anything about fun. And now let's go and choose our favorite background. If you want, you can upload a picture inside of it, but I think this room is gonna be good for us to asking some questions from the user. And now I'm gonna choose a sprite from here, which I love, Nano. I don't know, where is it? Oh, what is this? Oh my god. Oh, here. Yeah. I found my favorite character from Scratch. Now I want him to ask the questions and actually wait for us to answer that, and then go to the next question. Now we wanted to start it and actually write some questions for him to ask, and we need 3 buttons here for answering those questions. Let's actually add those buttons first. So this is the first button, and I'm gonna make it to button 1 because we need more buttons here. And the other one is going to be duplicated from this one, and it's going to be 2. Just the only change that we have to do is the number. So I'm going to make it here and come here, make this one 2 as well. And yeah, I think this is almost okay. Maybe the nano should go upper. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I can make them more bigger. Yeah. Great. I think that's fine, but no. They're too big. Great. Now I think they're okay. And I'm gonna make them through one line. So I'm going to actually change the Y of both of them to the same number, and then I'm going to duplicate it for the 3rd time, because you know we have to have 3 same buttons here. Now this one is going to be 3. Let me just check it if it's center or not. Yeah, that's fine. Now I want all of them to be at the first costume. here it is, and this is our actually the display of our game. We can make this nano bigger, maybe because it's not that much big, as we can compare it with other buttons. And I'm gonna make it bigger. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, we are going to write the codes right now, so let's go to write some codes. Okay, first of all, we're going to ask the first question, as we actually talked about it. I've found those questions from the chat-GPT, so I'm gonna actually go to my chat-GPT and choose one of these questions. You know, these questions are not that much funny. They're just facts, and they're so hard. I didn't know any of them, so I don't know what to do. Maybe I'm gonna use this one as the first question. Okay, how can we ask them? We have to come to sensing blocks, and choose this ask for ourselves, and just paste our question here. I know that is pretty large, but it's okay, you can actually use it. And you can see the answer if you want here, but it's not that much important for us to see the answer. But if I just wanted to use this ask here, as you can see, it's gonna actually show me this part, and I have to answer it like this and type something here. But as you can see, this is not the way that I really wanted to create a quiz project. So I'm not gonna use the ask anymore because it's not really useful and beneficial for us. So what else can we use? We just wanted to make this nano to say something or ask something. So it's not that much important to just use the ask block. We can go to looks and use the say block, as you can see. But I'm gonna choose the second one because the first one is gonna be disappeared after some seconds, and I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna use the say and paste it. First question here. As you can see, the first question is appearing here, and it's not going to be disappeared anymore until I say it to him to make this a separate. For example, to do something else, or I don't know, say something, another thing, and so on. So now I'm asking the first question, and I don't know the answer. So just give me seconds to go and find the answer. What is it? I don't know. Okay. That was really silly. I thought that it's gonna be something weird, but it wasn't. Okay, now we're coming here, and we know that giraffe is gonna be the correct answer because it's taller than other animals that were mentioned. So, what is it? The first answer is okay. We have to actually write the number of answers to make everything more clear. Yeah. Okay, as you can see, we can see the answers here. Maybe if I just hit right here, it's gonna be different, but it's not. Let me just okay, that's fine. The other one. It's really brilliant. Everyone can use the enter. Okay, it's working. I just used some weird codes here and weird this, but doesn't matter. I'm gonna delete these spaces because it was really bad. Okay, now I think it's gonna be okay. It doesn't have any difference. Okay. Now, let's go for the answers. I'm gonna actually say that the first answer is gonna be correct for the first question. Now, how can we actually do that? And how can we understand this button that you are correct at this session and you're not correct at the next session or other sessions? So, how can we do that? First of all, we need to just, let me just see something. Okay. we need to just say to this nano that if, for example, if the answer was 1, it's gonna be correct and you have to add a score to your game. But if it wasn't, you have to just say to this guy that you're wrong. And now go to the next question. How can we do that? How can we say that which answer is going to be selected, and how can we understand it from here? As we can say, we first need a variable first, and it's going to be our score, and you know all how to make a variable. Now I have the variable here and I have to just complete my code at this part. First of all, I need to check something. I need to check the answer of the user. How can we do that? We need to have another variable for our answer, which is going to be our answer. And each of these buttons is going to change the answer to their own number. For example, if I click on the first button, it's going to change the answer. It's going to change the answer number to 1, and if I click on the second button, it's going to change the answer to 2, and so on. Okay, so we're going to change the answer variable by clicking on our buttons. Now let's go to the button 1 and say whenever I click on you, or when this sprite clicked, just change or set the answer to 1. Okay, I mean change the answer to this mentioned number and nothing else. Not adding to it, not decreasing it, anything. We're just going to set the answer and set this number to our answer variable. And after that, another thing that I really wanted to happen is changing the custom of it. For example, if I just click on it, I wanted to change the color of it and make it again gray as usual. Okay, how can we do that? We can come here and switch the custom to button 3B, yeah, and then wait for some seconds, less than a second. For example, this time or a little bit more, and then after that I wanted to switch to button 3A. Now let's check it. As you can see, it's gonna work really great and it's gonna change the answer to 1. Everything is fine here, but how can I understand that the answer is okay, and how can I make it happen? Okay, I want to come here and say if the answer equals to 1, if the answer, come to operators and grab the equal operator and say if answer equals to 1, then change the score by 1. We're going to improve our score, and then if it wasn't okay, if it wasn't okay and correct, I'm gonna say something to the user that your answer wasn't correct, or you're wrong, or maybe the wrong, anything you want. You can make it funnier. I'm not that much funny person, but you can say wrong and play a sound here. I don't know what, but you can start a sound, and we don't have any sound here, but we can actually find something for it. Okay guys, we've done this till here. Actually, I didn't understand this sound wasn't that much appropriate for this actually position. I'm not in the mood for actually choosing another sound or sound effect, but maybe coming to the effect part might help you. And I don't know which one is gonna be okay for the wrong answer. Ooh. Okay, that one is good and loud somehow, so I'm gonna use this oops sound effect for our game. Now we've done one of our questions and we checked the answer, and if it was correct we're going to change the score by 1, and if it wasn't correct we're going to say that it was wrong and start a sound of oops. But actually we didn't do this part for the other buttons, so I'm gonna do it for the other ones. For example, for the second one we're going to say that set the answer to 2, and for the third one it's gonna set the answer to 3. Okay, and it's actually a sign of our answer, and we can check the answer by this part. So now everything is fine actually about the buttons, and now is the time that we have to change the answer to something else. Okay, we have to wait until when to go to the next one. If I just put the say here, maybe I don't know, this one or that one, or hello maybe is good right now. If I just put it here, if I start my game, it's gonna show me the hello part, not the answer. So I can use the say here after all these codes instantly, because I have to just put some wait inside of it to wait until we answer and then go to the next part and next question. So for that time, we're going to use a new block which we haven't used it before, and it's on the control blocks. It's really useful especially for these games, and it's this: wait until something happens. Okay, we have to wait until something happens, or we have to wait until the user answers, and then we're going to say or ask another question after that. Okay, we need a condition for here. For example, wait until what? How can we understand when actually the user answered the question? Okay, how can we get it? For that part, we need another variable, which is gonna be I don't know, which is gonna be check or next, anything you really wanted to have, or maybe active. Active is better. And then say whenever the active was 0, I don't want it to go to another question. And whenever it gets 1, I really want it to go to the next question. So the active is gonna active the next question, and it's gonna let us to go to the next question. So for that, we have to change the active, actually set the active at the first time 0, and make it 1 whenever we answer the question. So we have to make it 1 through our buttons, okay? And say when this sprite clicked, I wanted to set the active to 1 to understand that everything is fine and the user answered the question. So I'm gonna set the active to 1 for each of the buttons, and like this, and here. It is actually kind of sign for us that let us know that whether the user answered or not. So whenever you get 1, I really wanted to go to the next question. So here we have to say wait until the active equals to 1. The active equals to 1, and then go to the next question. So let's try it. First of all, it's gonna actually ask us the first question. It's not going to the next one because I tell him that wait until the active equals to 1. And as you can see, the active is already 0 and it's not 1. So whenever I click any of these buttons, for example this, it's gonna be 1, and we're going to the next question. Okay, I chose the next question from ChatGPT again, but it was really interesting because I didn't know about octopus and its heart, maybe. Actually, it has 3 hearts inside of it, not 1. And it was really interesting for me, so I've read a lot about it, and I recommend you to go and read about this octopus heart and the systems inside of its body. So now let's go to the next question, and we're going to actually put the answer to 3 or 2 or 1 or whatever you want. So I'm gonna say the answers here. 1, it's gonna be 1. I'm gonna write the numbers, it's better. 2, it's gonna be 2, and 3, it's gonna be 3. Okay, because for not getting confused, I'm just doing that. Okay, wrong. We have another problem here. Because the answer is 2, it doesn't actually let us to just choose one of these answers, and it's gonna tell us that the answer is wrong and you have to change it. So for that, let's just set the answer to 0 first of all, and then go to the next part. And again, it's gonna be wrong. So maybe we have to do something. We have to just put the weight here, and then when the active get 1, now check the answer. Let us see. Yeah, it's working. So we have to change the position of weight in F to make this actually function works properly. Now I'm gonna answer it to 2, and it's gonna be wrong, and then we're going to the next question, and now we have to just put these conditions for this one again. So before going and writing the condition for this part, we have to just make this active to 0 again before the next question. So I'm going to set the active to 0 here, and then continue our question. Okay, now I'm going to duplicate all of these because we're going to do that again, but we need to wait until from here. Oh my god, let me just delete it. Okay, everything is gonna be okay. Okay, now the answer has to be 3. Okay, and if the answer equals to 3, I'm going to actually gain another score, or if it wasn't, I was wrong, and the sound is gonna be started. Okay, and now let me see something. We don't need these 2, and we have 2 questions, and we're going to check both of them. Now everything is fine, and if you want, you can add a lot of questions here, and you can make this quiz longer, and after that you can actually check the scores and see how many scores do you have. But don't forget to set your score at the first of your game to 0, because I didn't do that, and my score is now 9. But if I just put it here, I can see that 3 of them is gonna be 0, but we don't need to see the answer and the active anymore, and the score is enough for us. Okay, actually I've done some changes on our game. First of all, I changed the position of these 2 because it's gonna actually wait for 2 seconds for wrong and then start the sound. So I changed the position of these 2 so it starts the sound and then say wrong to us. And the other thing that I've actually added here was the custom of the nano, which is going to be happier whenever you answer correctly. So I've added these customs and these weights to here. And now I really wanted to say, after our questions, I wanted to say thank you. You've got, for example, some scores, And because of that, I'm going to add a say here, and we need to use the join blocks, because if you wanted to use the dynamic number and actually a string here, we need to use the join from the operator here and say you've got, for example, the score number, and here we're going to say scores, okay, because we wanted to join three items. We're going to use 2 joins here. Now I'm gonna actually use this score here and say the scores. Now let's check it. It's gonna work. For example, this time this is gonna be wrong, and this is gonna be okay, and it's gonna say you've got 2 scores, okay, but it's gonna actually be too sticky. Now I'm going to add some space here, or 1 space, and it's gonna be okay. Let me see, just 2 1. Okay, you've got 2 scores, and that's really awesome because you can just use the score and tell the user how many scores did he get. So everything is fine, and the rest of it is up to you. You can add a lot of features to your game and make it funnier and interesting. The whole concept was that, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching till now. I really appreciate it, and see you later. Bye.